Hello, hello. How is everyone doing? Let me get myself situated here. Okay. We got to make sure the fit is fitting. Oh man, happy Wednesday to y'all. I hope you're feeling good. Um, it's busy in my world. We running around, we doing what we do. Okay, but I hope y'all are feeling great today. Um, if you are catching this live, definitely pop in the chat in the comments and say hello. And also, full disclosure too, I said this during one of the previous live, I think last week, but sometimes I can't see some of your comments. I use StreamYard to broadcast, and I don't know what it is, but sometimes everybody's comments are not visible to me here. So if you are commenting and you're in the chat, please don't take it personal. Be like, well, why is Nana not shouting me out? Because StreamYard don't want me to be all the way great. No, play. But that's the reason why. Okay. So if you watching it, you see somebody else make a comment, and this is live, pop in and let me know who's saying what's what. All right. So I appreciate y'all patiently waiting because I had to handle some business. But we here, all right? And today we are talking all about why your closet is a time capsule. From when? From 10 years ago. All right. Um, and this is, this is this is this is like such an interesting space of reflection when we talk about your wardrobe and how you can literally sometimes walk into your closet, because this might be your situation right now, where you will walk into your closet and you can literally flash back to what pieces you were wearing at the different stages in your career, right? So maybe 10 years ago, you had your first position, your first role, your first company, right? Maybe it was like that first job, right? So whatever that looks like for you, whether that was 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, think back to what you were wearing for your first job. What was popping off? What did you wear? Feel free to put in the comments too if you really want to share and put it down. All right. Like, I know for me, even for me, like first job, I definitely was like, okay, let me make sure I have a good black suit. Let me make sure I have a navy blue suit. I'm gonna make sure I have some heels. Like I knew I had to have suits. I was like, okay, let me have a good white shirt. Hey, Angelica. Like some of these things are just like wardrobe basics. These are staples. And we love a good staple, right? Also, what's up, Portia? Also, right? Also, you can have other pieces. But like we said, this is the flashback to what you were wearing when you had your first job, right? And when you were starting out in that first job, right? So listen, right? Okay, Angelica, all black queen, right? When you had that first job, you probably weren't giving that much thought to what you were wearing, right? Let's be honest. Let's keep it 100. You likely weren't giving that much thought. You were probably just like, I'm just going to keep it simple. I'm just going to make sure that I'm professional, right? Like that was your goal. Okay. Okay. Portia was saying her first job, she had suits too, but she tried to jazz it up with some light pink pinstripes. All right. Okay. So I think unless you were already into style and already into fashion, right? If you weren't a fashionable or stylish kind of girl or interested in those things, and you were just like, it's my first job, I want to be professional, I want to be taken seriously, I want to do a great job, you was just running through them standard color suits. You had your black suit, you had your navy suit, you had your gray suit. Okay. And that's what you rang. That was it. Whether it was pants, whether it was a skirt, take your pick, right? And so that was your standard. Black pump, nude pump, okay? And nude was not flesh tone, because we didn't have the variety of flesh tone pumps that we have right now. Okay. You basically only had the flesh tone of like the creams and like the tans. Okay. Like you weren't gonna get no chocolate brown flesh tone pumps. Okay. It just wasn't popping off that. All right. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, Angelica, I'm running the hair salon, right? And the uniform industry was black, right? Like, and that's a really interesting point, because no matter what industry you may have been in, whether you were in the hair industry and you're working at salons and uniform was black, if you're in the finance industry, the uniform is definitely going to include those blues and those grays, right? Like attorney, tech, like there are just prescribed, there are often prescribed uniforms for different industries. And so when you're taking that first job and you're just starting out, that's what you wear, because you're like, that's what is traditionally seen as professional, and that's what I want people to associate with me. I want them to see me in that light. There ain't nothing wrong with that. Get it? I understand 100%. Okay. So then what happens as you're moving along in your career, right, is you start to get a little bit more experience. You start to get an understanding of what you like, what you're really good at, what value you bring to the table. You start to get an understanding of your management, who's got your back, who you need to stay away from. Okay, all the office politics. You start to learn that, okay, there is more to this workplace situation than just showing up, sit in this cubicle, do my job, right? Like you start to understand there's a lot more dynamics and things happening. So you're figuring out what you want to do with your career. You want to stay there, you want to specialize, you want to go a different direction. After some years in a space, oftentimes you have to ask yourself a question. You're going to stay in that space and stay in that field, or are you going to make some shifts? Okay. Those are some career questions you got to ask yourself, right? And so as you start to move along in your career, what happens in your closet? Did you just continue to take the same suits and just keep rocking them as you went along, because you were like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it? I'm just gonna keep this traditional professional look because I know it works and I won't have any problems navigating any spaces. The problem with that is that you aren't allowing your wardrobe to evolve as you evolve in your career. Okay. So you're continuously wearing the same pieces from the first job you had, in the second job, in the third job, in the role when you do get the promotion, right? When you do start to even maybe think about, maybe I want to do more of a senior role. Maybe I want to go from an analyst to senior analyst. Maybe I want to look at an assistant manager position, right? You start thinking like, what? I want more, right? I can do more. I have leadership capabilities. Like I've got this. I'm very sharp in my skill sets. I could do this thing. I love to manage people. Whatever you like, I want more for myself. Okay. So you start thinking about that. So you go for the promotion and you get the first promotion, right? And oftentimes we get that first promotion, we excited and we treat ourselves. Okay. Oftentimes we treat ourselves with something. All right. So whatever your vice might be, maybe like, ooh, I'm hitting that Mac. I'm hitting that, and I'm gonna say Mac because back then there was more Mac than Sephora and all of this. Or maybe shoot, maybe he's gonna hit that good Macy's makeup counter. Okay. Maybe you're like, oh, I'm about to treat myself to some makeup, like whatever your vice is. But more than likely too, you're like, I'm gonna buy myself a couple of new pieces of clothing, right? Like you were like, I'm gonna buy myself a new dress, maybe some earrings, shoes, whatever the thing is, okay? But the thing is, you just cherry pick. You just cherry picked a couple of things that you would add to your wardrobe, right? You're like, oh, maybe you saw something that was trending and you're like, oh, there's a new hot color that's out. Like, oh, maybe I want to get teal. Or like, oh, maybe, oh, maybe this time instead of just the solid gray um, blazer, I'm going to get the gray with the pink pinstripes, right? I'm going to live dangerously. Okay. You probably just cherry pick a few pieces to add to your wardrobe. Okay. Yes, Mac had the girls in a chokehold. Oh, and yes, the Jessica Simpson new posted. Oh my gosh, yes, the flashbacks, like literally. So you get this promotion, and you then just kind of cherry pick a few things to buy for your wardrobe. Like, oh, maybe I'll get the new suit, new shoes, etc. But what you're not doing is taking a bit of an inventory of your whole closet, right? And saying, okay, what do I need to purge? What needs to be repaired? What do I need to elevate in quality? Because it's just been worn through, because that's my go-to blazer and I wear it all the time. Like that, taking that time to assess and review the quality of the things that you own so that you can make decisions so that you evolve with your wardrobe. Those are the things that were likely not happening for you. Okay. And so you were just on the if it ain't broke, don't fix it, don't change it kind of mentality. So you just kept rocking. You and the Jessica Simpson pumps, y'all was stepping out every single time. All right. And so now here we have it. Fast forward through all the shifts in your careers, multiple promotions, industry changes, maybe you've moved, and you're in a different location, all the things that happen in your career, all the changes in the shifts, right? Fast forward 10, 15 years, 20 years to present day. When you open up your closet and you're looking through what you own, are you still holding on to the pieces from a decade ago? You are currently now a senior manager. Why do you have the suit that you wore from your first job? Janice says she need to upgrade from Mac. Listen, Mac is all right, but there's so many brands, girl. My goodness. I love the lip bar personally. But yeah, there are so many ways that you need your wardrobe to evolve. All right. And one of the biggest spaces, and this is something I constantly see when I'm working with a client and they are telling me like, I'm on the promotion track. And by this time, you're talking about you're on the promotion track. This is not your first promotion. You've already been promoted before. This is at the stage now where you're looking at senior leadership level promotions. You are looking at senior manager. You're looking at director. You're looking at partner. You're looking at C-suite. You're looking at starting your own business. You are like, boom, like from more than likely, like those senior analyst, senior associate, and management level roles, you already done went through those. And you kept the same clothing from when you were in your 20s. Okay? Think about your 20s. All right? Think about your 20s in that first job. All right? You're keeping some of the same pieces from your 20s and early 30s, and you are now well into your 40s. Why? Right? So there is something that is happening for you if you are still holding on to those pieces. And that's really the question. The question is, why am I still holding on to those pieces? Right? Why are you still holding on to the suit? Listen, listen, okay? Let's talk about, and there are so many reasons why, there's so many reasons why you need to let those pieces go. And there are so many reasons why you're holding on to them. Okay? Janice, I hope you got my suggestion on the makeup. The lip bar, 100% is one of my favorite go-tos. Love them to pieces. But let's talk about it, okay? Angelica, that, listen, not even being the same size from 10 years ago. Okay, 2 babies and how many inches on the waistline? Listen, throw a whole pandemic in there and staying at home and putting on some pounds. Okay? Thank you, Amber. Okay, just because it fits doesn't mean it should still be in your closets. All right? Okay? So, listen, you are going to have to be, you got to have a come to Jesus moment. Okay? You got to have a come to Jesus moment with yourself. And you have got to go through and look at pieces and ask yourself, okay, if I am looking at pieces that I have in my closet from when I was in my 20s, why do I still have those pieces? And it can't, the one, and I think this is, let's talk about the first one big roadblock that I hear a lot when people have pieces in their closet from a long time ago. And most importantly, that are not connected to the style that they want to have. Like, you're getting really clear on what the style that you want. You're like, this is really how I see myself coming into these rooms, but my wardrobe doesn't reflect that. So that's baseline. You know, you're like, I want to do a new thing. But every time I look at my closet, I'm like, nah, this ain't it. One of the biggest things I often hear is, well, I spent a lot of money for that, Nana. I paid a lot of money for that. So you paid a lot of money for that New York and Company suit. Okay? Right? You paid a lot of money for that New York and Company suit at that time. For you, you felt like a lot of money. Whatever price tag you place on it for what's a lot of money to you is for you. Okay? I want you to think about how many times you've worn that suit over the course of a decade or a decade plus. How many times have you worn it? Okay. There's something that we talk about in the style and image space, something called cost per wear. Cost per wear. And it's simply exactly what it sounds like, right? What is basically really the return on the number of times that you wore something? Okay. So you might say, like, oh, I spent $200 for that suit. And that was, 10 years ago. So at that time, $200 felt like 700, right? If you've worn that suit often in 10 years, let's say you've worn that suit at least 10 times, 20 times. You would on average think that you were paying about $20, let's say 20 times, right? Let me make sure my math is right. You paid $200 for that suit, and you wore it at least 20 times. So that's an average of about $10 for every time that you wore that suit. Follow me on the math, okay? So every time you wore that suit, it's like $10, $10, $10. That seems fairly reasonable if you wore that suit a lot of times. So think about the mileage. Think about that cost per wear. Think about the investment you made and how often you utilize the piece. If you made an investment and you bought something, you're like, I spent so much money on that. I spent a lot of money on that piece, so I can't let that go. Why? You spent a lot of money on it. If you wore it and it served its purpose at that point in time in your career, but at this point, it either does not fit, doesn't align with the style you desired, or isn't in good quality, it's time to throw up the deuces. Okay? It's time to let it go. So don't fall into the trap of holding on to things from your previous career, your previous identity, your previous decade, simply because you think that I spent a lot of money on it, so I'm supposed to keep it for the rest of my life. Don't fall for that trap. Don't tell yourself that story. All right? Because I know you've worn it a lot. And so it served its purpose, and it was a very worthwhile investment. And so now you can give it to somebody else who's going to see it as a great investment because they're just starting out in their job and they would appreciate it. And then you can elevate to a new space and do a new thing with your wardrobe. Okay. If you're feeling me, drop something up in the chat, drop an emoji. Okay. Okay, Janice, we got some other recommendations for you on the lipstick tip. Portia's dropping Uoma. I don't even know them. I check them out. All right. Yes, we are doing a new thing. Go like let's move with the evolving versions of yourself. All right. And I'll say this, I know like today is the last day of January, right? And so after this, we gonna give the Happy New Year a break. At least this personally for me. You got January. January is Happy New Year month. February, we in it. It's Black History Month. We rocking. All right. So you for me, it's always about evolving. It's always about growing. Okay. It doesn't have to be the sentiment of new year, new you, right? Like, hey, the old you is great too, but you are evolving. You are growing. You are not the same exact person now as you were then. And hopefully for very good reason, because as you learn, as you get more skills, as you learn how to balance and juggle and want more and grow in all the ways, you can't still keep showing up in the same light. Don't work that way. They don't work. All right. So don't I hear that so often from women, and they will pick something up and I'm like, okay, when was the last time you wore this? Or when did you purchase this piece? Or sometimes I don't even say anything. You pick a piece, oh my God, I've had that for so long. Okay, so why you still got it? Well, I paid a lot of good money for that suit. And I'm like, okay, how many times you worn it? I wear it all the time. Sounds like you got the value out of it. Sounds like now it's time to let it go. Novelty idea. Okay. So let that be a place for you to understand that you can make a departure. All right. And then also another thing that I often hear from women when we're going through their wardrobe and you're picking up pieces and you're like, this is very much of something that I wore before. I want you to understand quality. I want you to understand quality. And I want to invite you to invest a little bit more in the quality of your pieces. Um, you know, Listen, sometimes when we're like let's go back to the 20 something self, okay? Like I know my 20 something self, she loved a good rave. How many y'all put down the rave? You know what I'm talking about rave. All right. She loved that good rave. It was time to go out with the friends. It's trying, you know what I'm saying? We try and get cute. All right. And we hit up that good rave, right? Or I threw in that was it Lerner, New York? Right? That used to be my go-to for my professional wear. All right. Like there are there are a lot of places that in your 20s were maybe some of your go-to places to shop. And that was reflective of what you understood to be of great quality. And sometimes too at the price point at which you felt like you could afford, right? And this is not to say that it's not a definite that all the time more money equals better quality. However, yes, there is definitely something to things being at a higher price point and the quality being better because there was more money invested in purchasing better materials to make the garment. Okay. Yes. Okay. Essence Fence auntie vibes. Like the wait, a D auntie of her closet. Oh my gosh, right? Rave, Rainbow, Wet Seal, all of them, right? Those were all the places that you may have shopped for things, right? And the quality of those clothes is trash. It's trash. Y'all know it. It's trash, right? Um, and so it doesn't last well, but at that time in your 20s, that was the place. That was the place where all your friends were shopping. That was a place you knew you could get like some cute things for a great price. That's where you went, right? So what are you doing now that you are in your late 30s, your 40s? What are you doing now? Your 50s, 60s, okay? Where are you shopping now? Are you evolving? Are you still doing primarily fast fashion? Is everything in your wardrobe from Zara? Right? Like what are you doing in terms of your shopping habits and your understanding of quality and investing in pieces of great quality? Like do you feel like that part of your style has evolved? Come on. Come on. Okay? So this is a big one. This is a big invitation to y'all. Like to really think about how you are leveling up in the quality department with your garments. And this is definitely again about understanding where you are now, where you might currently shop. So if you're a Zara gal and you're like, listen, yeah, about 90% of my closet is everything from Zara. All right, I get it. Okay. But we also want to understand how we can incorporate some other more quality pieces and mix them up. Okay. I love doing a high low kind of shopping approach, right? Where you are able to get some great, because I love a Zara. Listen, Zara be having some pieces I go and I'm like, oh, excellent colors. Come on. We got some texture happening, maybe some unique cuts. We down for that. But then we also want to be cognizant of things that you wear often in your wardrobe, especially like dope blazers. If you really have a feminine style and you love dresses and skirts, your shoe game, because making sure that your feet are comfortable and in quality footwear is a must, right? Where are you choosing to make investments in pieces that are of a higher quality so that everything in your closet is not fast fashion? Because if we're going through your wardrobe and I'm looking at labels from brands that I'm like, oh, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I remember the rave when I was 21, but we don't put 20 years on it. So we are not going to be having stuff from the rave up in the closet. Amen. Amen. Oh my gosh. Listen. Angelica, yes, I love a boutique, right? Boutiques always have one of a kind pieces. Absolutely. Okay. So what are some recommendation stores for high quality? Absolutely. So this can run the gamut, right? Like this might be you going to more department stores. So, you know, hitting up a Nordstrom, okay, is such an easy lock to visit a Nordstrom. And check this out. Visit a Saks, Fifth Avenue, visit a Bergdorf Goodman, and go into these higher end department stores and run the field. Like go familiarize yourself with different brands. Okay. You might catch a Zimmerman, like there's so many different brands. There might be Theory in there, which has their own store, but they carry, when you go into a department store, what I love is you get a gamut of everything. There might be a little bit of Vince happening, like you might get some DVF in the mix. Like you're going to see brands that you know, and then you're going to see other brands you don't know. But walk the department store and just allow yourself to check out what you love. Like, oh, I love these colors. Like, oh, feel the materials. This is beautiful. Then you can look at the price points and understand, like, what are we talking? And is it something that's actually within a range of what I could invest? It might be that, you were typically investing that $200 for a suit, but with where you are and wanting to enter the director suite, you might need to 3x that. All right. And pay $600 for an amazing suit that's really going to last you for this next decade of where your style is. Exactly, Portia. Just go to the store without the pressure to buy. It costs nothing to look because you're familiarizing yourself with pieces of higher quality. Okay. So I think if you were doing, let's say like you were in the Zara space, Angelica, you might be looking at like a Vince, you might be looking at a Theory, if you are looking to do some Black owned designer shopping, because we love that space, and wait for the drop next month because I'm gonna be sharing Black owned designers that I love. You might be doing more of an Andrea Yama. She's got some amazing pieces. You might be doing a Mai Adi. They have amazing jackets and blazers and great prints and colors. There's really a whole lot. And listen, the way that the Black owned brands are going to be dropping, there are going to be so many lists from across the board for Black History Month, the Vogues, the Essences, like they all going to be dropping. They all going to be dropping Black owned brands and designer lists next month. Okay. So a quick Google search will pull up a whole lot, but those are definitely a couple of my favorites that you might start venturing into if you're like, okay, I want to start thinking about some higher quality pieces. So yeah, go to that department store, check things out so that you can get an understanding of what brands are maybe $1 sign up from where you currently invest, which ones might be $2 signs up from where you currently invest. Okay. So that's an easy way for you to understand. And try the pieces on. Like, try them on. See if you like it. Like, see if you like it. And then on top of that, then you can put some of these brands on your vision board and on your mood board for your style and say, like, you know what? I really like Loewe. And right now, that's not currently in my budget, but I love these pieces. And that's something that I really want to invest in the future. And I want to be rocking that brand. Pop that sucker up on the mood board. Okay. Absolutely. Wardrobe budget is a must. That's I love that you recommend that to your clients, Angelica, to include a wardrobe budget in their pricing strategy. I think and I think that as you're looking in your closet, and you might be feeling the time capsule vibes, because you might be looking at a closet and being like, yeah, I have a lot of things in here from my 20s or early 30s, and I'm in a different space. My body's in a different place. My mindset is in a different place. You are going to get wiser and smarter about this, and you're going to realize that you do need to think more strategically about how you're going to evolve your wardrobe, right? What does that look like for you? What do you need to do to get your wardrobe to the next place? Is that a complete overhaul? Is that a select few pieces that you need to invest in? Are you going to do that gradually and set aside a monthly allowance for yourself to invest in pieces? Are you going to save that next a portion of some paychecks and stash that away? Are you going to get a good bonus at the end of the year and you're going to say, okay, I'm going to intentionally invest this in leveling up my wardrobe next year? Like, what's the strategy? I would urge you for the strategy not to be casual perusing and shopping on your lunch break or when you're bored in a meeting and you're like, ooh, that's cute. Ooh, what is that? Oh, is that Shein? Okay, that's cute though. I'm gonna put that in my cart. And then you checking out. That's what you just don't need to be doing. That's what you shouldn't be doing. Okay. Yeah, totally. Like, don't just wait for the drop of the list I'm going to be sharing for Black History Month. Y'all gonna love the drop. Um, because there's a whole bunch of really great brands out there, and honestly too, a lot of the places, even as for me as a stylist, yes, there are amazing brands out there, but sometimes it's not always just about like where to shop. The magic answer is not just like, oh well, just tell me the places to shop and that's where I'll go and I'll get everything that is great. No, because if you don't clearly know what kind of style you want and what kind of style really aligns with you, if you are not shored in about how to dress for your body shape and understanding proportion, understanding volume, understanding how you want things to fit on your body. If you don't get that, it doesn't matter whether you're wearing an outfit that costs $50 or $5,000. It is not going to come off right. It's not going to come off right. Okay. So release that feeling from yourself too, that I just need to be shopping at the right places. Let me tell you, as a stylist, you could take me to the dollar store. You could take me to Bergdorf. I'm going to look fly. I'm going to look fly because I understand how to put a look together. I understand how to accessorize. You know what I'm saying? I understand what colors work well. Like, it's going to come off. Okay. Right. And so that's what that's what you want. You want to be able to understand that. So don't, it's not solely, that's not the sole solution, especially if you don't have the clarity and the knowledge to help you make those decisions. Okay. You need the right habits, you need the right intels. All right. So Dollar Tree bag. I'm done. So listen, so I really want you to take stock of what is happening in your closet and run that time capsule back. Okay. If you have all of these low quality pieces, you know, like especially look at the fabric. Is it peeling? What's the color doing? Is it fading? If you have pieces that are just like in quality deficit, please let them go. As your body shape is evolving, if things are not fitting you well, please stop trying to squeeze your body into clothing. Get a new size. Get a new size. Like the fit and the quality are two of the most important spaces for you to feel confident in what you are wearing. And so many times we feel like, well, I was a size 10, but now I'm a size 14. And we just cannot let go of that size 10 because you feel like that was the epitome of being at your best self. Got news for you. It is not. Okay. Your style is not determined by the size. It is not. The style is determined by you. You can be stylish at any size. You just need to understand how to dress for that size. So let go of the clothing that is too tight. Let go of those pieces that are smushing in your breasts. Let the girls be free. Let them be free. Let them be free and be able to breathe. All right. Allow your waistline to breathe. Go up 2 sizes so that you can zip up and button the pants with ease. All right. And put the belt on. And y'all know, and don't be putting the belt on. And when the belt be creasing in the back because the belt is screaming for air. I'm in rare form today. Oh, when the belt is screaming for air. I can't stand that when I see a belt and a woman has a belt on, anybody for that matter, but especially as women, especially when you're voluptuous, you got booty, you got hips, you got body, and you got the belt and the belt is wrapped so tight because you're like, I want my waist to feel snatched. And I'm like, it is not snatched. It is suffocated because the belt is now crunching and crumbling in the back. Ooh, rare form this morning. Rare form. Oh my gosh. So no, you want that belt to be crisp, to be clean. You want the quality of that leather to be popping. Okay, it should be smooth and flush. All right. So if you do that and you cannot get the notch to go through the hole and you can't get that, listen, if it's not working, please size up. All right. So you want to really be focused on quality, on fit, okay? And really understand how important those elements are to consider when you are leveling up in your career. Because that's what comes through having quality pieces, having pieces that fit, having pieces that above that most importantly, you already always know, like I'm gonna always start with you on the clarity piece that really clearly align with the type of style you desire, like that it all makes sense. That's what you want for yourself. That's what you want to see as you open up your closet. When you have those types of pieces in your wardrobe, it makes it easy to get dressed. You won't struggle. You just won't struggle because things will fit well, be of great quality. Colors will be great. And then, of course, you'll begin to understand how to put these pieces together to create amazing outfits. But it really starts with you taking stock of what you got, looking in that closet and understanding, am I really literally taking a time capsule back to decades ago? If your closet got the time capsule loop, listen, this is the part where you're like, okay, Donna, you got me. It is literally a capsule back to the early 2000s and the late 90s up in my closet, or even of 10 years ago, and I am no longer that person. I am not her, she is not me, and we have evolved beyond that. And listen, understand too that, like, I think another big piece too, and this is the in the quality department, but also beyond that, is just like taste and style. Not from this perspective of how you're putting things together, but what and how pieces are made, right? And what pieces look like. There are different styles and cuts that instantly make you feel and make you look dated, that make you look older than what you are a lot of times. So, in many spaces, you just need to bring your wardrobe current because your blazers, all gray, all single button, notched collar, 2-pocket panel, and it just hit right above the hip, right? Slim cut through the sleeve, rounded on the hem, and they all look the same. And they were all from Ann Taylor in the 90s or the early 2000s. Suits have evolved, blazers have evolved. You need to get current. You need to get current. Okay? You needs to get current. That's all I'm gonna say. I see this so many times where I just look in the closet and I'm like, this is out of date. The taste is out of date. Okay? So it's this, listen, style evolution, just like technology, it's just like everything. You can't be sitting on here talking about now how you work this thing. How do I get this text message to go? And can I AI it over? Don't be that person. I'm losing my hat. I'm in such rare form today, y'all. And y'all know I be just cracking up over my own jokes. You cannot be on old auntie vibes like that, okay? You want fly auntie vibes. You don't want you don't want, baby, I can't, you don't want that auntie vibe, okay? Oh my gosh. That is not what we're going for, right? And I just see it so often. I just see it so often in the wardrobe. Portia Angelica, oh my gosh, yeah, I'm cracking myself up. So I just see it. I see it so much. I see it so often where I'm like, this is a dated piece, and we're going through labels, and I'm like, yeah, this is from New York and Company's collection in 2000. Like, yeah, no, exactly, Portia. We going for rich auntie vibes. We ain't on old broke auntie vibes. We ain't on that. We ain't on that. Okay, we ain't on that. So I want you to evolve beyond that, all right, and really start to get current get modern, and understand modern is not trends. Okay, modern and trendy is a different thing. All right. You are like, I am in the business of helping women feel confident in finding their signature style, discovering what your personal style is. So you don't move to all the whims of the trends that are happening. That's not how you dictate what your style is year over year. All right. That's the recipe for disaster. You have to have your own clarity about what your style is. That's first and foremost. All right. It's not about imitating and just following whatever the industry is dishing out on the trends, because the trends don't work for everyone. All right. They don't work for everyone. So you need to know at the core what works for you and what is always going to be necessary to have in your closet so that your style game is on point. Then you can play with trends and be like, oh, red is a big color this season. You know what? I don't have a lot of red in my closet. Maybe I want to do, a red pump or a red blazer, etc. Right? Then you can begin to add those things in. So getting modern and being trendy, two totally different things. I want to make sure we make that distinction. But you do want to move with the times. And oftentimes in the things getting modern, the quality looks different. The cut of the garments look different. The details look different. Those are the things that, as a stylist, that I pay attention to. And those are the things that I often see that are missing from the wardrobe of a lot of the women that I work with. So, I'm still cracking myself up. So that's really, really an important piece to pay attention to for yourself. All right. So you're looking at that quality, you're looking at that fit, but you're also looking at the taste, and you're looking at whether your pieces are outdated, my dear. And literally you can tell that because we take that time capsule ride through your closet when you open up the doors. Okay. So now we want to help you step into the doors of what is going to be modern, what's going to be fabulous, what's going to be an amazing fit, color sparkling, accessories dripping, hello, right? And pieces that make you feel good and make you feel like you on your bestest of days, the bestest. Yes, we love bestest. All right. On the bestest of days. All right. That's what we want. We want the style to be a reflection of you at your very, very best. All right. And so if you know, like, I got to get this right, I got to fix this situation because this is the year promotions are happening, shifts in the career are happening, speaking engagements are lit, calendars booked, and I'm still showing up in things that I've had for decades. You got to make a change. We ain't doing that no more. Okay. So I definitely want to invite you to book a style call with me. It's a 30-minute conversation. I send you a form in advance. You fill that out so I get some details about what some of your style challenges are, what goals you have, what's happened in your career. And then on the call, I learn a little bit more about you, and you can learn about me and ask questions. And I can share with you the different services that I offer that could be a great fit to help you get that transformation in your style that you really desire. And right now, my premium service called the Style Elevation Experience is open for enrollment, and we are so excited about it. Okay. And this is the big one that helps women the most. And it's really designed for women who are in that space where they feel like their clothing does not represent who they are and who they're becoming. And they are not clear about what fits them well. Their body has changed. They've had a change in their career, are newly promoted, have recently started their own business. And they understand the closet's been a time capsule. The closet is a time capsule. The closet is not representative of the space that they desire to be in and that they are going in. Right. So visibility is really increasing, and they're making a shift in their career. And the wardrobe has not evolved to meet that. So if you know that that's the space that you're in, the Style Elevation Experience could be a really great service for you. And basically you just have a stylist, moi, in your back pocket. And I'm here to guide you, help you get clear on what your personal style is, like really explain to you, do the deep dive on your body shape, give you super big clarity on what fits you well, talk about accessorizing, how to do it, what pieces to pick, talk about colors, what are the best ones that are going to fit your facial features, your skin, your hair. And then, of course, piece de la resistance, I do all the personal shopping for you. Yes. So if you hate shopping, don't have to do it. All right. So it's a really great service. It's my premium offer. I love it to pieces, and I love seeing the transformation that the women have after going through the experience. So if that is calling your name, definitely send me a DM. I'm gonna drop a link in the chat to book a call with me too, because today is the last day to get your calls booked. All right, because we are popping things off next month. So definitely do that if you are feeling your heart, if you're feeling palpitations and you like, I'm sweating, I just got all the way called out today. Well, come over to the fabulous side. All right, y'all. Let me know in the chat what was helpful for you, what takeaways you have. Always love to hear it. Always super helpful in letting me know what kinds of topics to include for my next lives. I will not be live next Wednesday, but I will be going live the Wednesday after that. Don't ask me what date that is because I don't even know. I'm just trying to get through February, through January. Today's the last day. Woo! So I'm super excited though. The drop is happening though. I can't wait to drop some of the Black owned designers. That's always one of my favorite drops on the content tip. So if you're not following me on LinkedIn, make sure you're following on LinkedIn or send me a connection request. Definitely love to connect too, because that is the way you're going to get the drop around the Black owned brands. And then also, fun fact, I'm doing something very special for the folks who are on my mailing list around the Black owned brands. And I'll be sharing a shoppable guide with the Black owned brands. Ha 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 ha. But that's just only for the people who are on my mailing list. So if you're not on my mailing list, this is your invitation to join that list. So I'll pop a link there to join my mailing list too. Basically, just go to my website and pop-up will come and you can join that way. But yeah, so listen, I hope y'all have a fabulous rest of the day. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you in Black History Month. Peace.